We focused on truancy for 8 years, but there's now a growing problem here in Baltimore County. Good evening and welcome to Give Me a Break. I'm John the Carmody. If you heard right, Baltimore City is a nationwide scandal throughout education. But there's more. As we're about to show you, it's truancy because of all the school board members. But one person will join me tonight. He says he contacted the school board at a meeting. But what happened next would even stun some board members. Here's Keith Daniels.
A community meeting in East Baltimore this week has a parent in Park Heights talking tonight. Harry ESRB frustrated after speaking out to Baltimore City school officials at that meeting.
I haven't been contacted as yet. Raises a red flag too as to what's going on at the top.
The Baltimore City Board of School Commissioners met with parents and community members at the Collington Square Recreation Center for a listening session Wednesday night, wanting to hear from community members about their concerns. ESRB was there with one key concern.
One of my questions was how to combat student truancy.
He told them about what he sees while working from home outside his front door on school days.
You know, I see these kids walking aimlessly throughout the day, and I'm wondering where are they going, at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's very dangerous to be out here on the streets, yes. And the kids are actually adding to the danger because they are getting involved in gangs and violence.
Fox 45 News has reported on chronic absenteeism and truancy in Baltimore City schools. Among the system's latest data, in 2023, 54% of students in Baltimore City schools were chronically absent, the highest rate in Maryland. It's an issue the Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office has said must be addressed. The matter discussed in November at a community meeting in Southeast Baltimore where 3 teams were caught in connection to an armed carjacking.
We see most of the time these kids just aren't going to school, especially post-COVID. Many of the ones who are committing these crimes are not even going to school at all. So one of our biggest legislation this upcoming session will be how we deal with truancy, because truancy is a large issue on what we're seeing with crime in general.
A concern then and now.
We want to steer them away from that, get them back into the school component so they can get this free education.
Well, because the event was a listening session, board members did not provide solutions to those problems addressed, rather saying they'll get back to each person at a later date with answers to those questions. Reporting tonight, Keith Daniels, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe.
We do have some solutions for you. We always have solutions. I mean, we have truancy court. There's programs. And back in 2003, there was a truancy court private program provided by one school board in Austin, Texas. But what Alex Jones talked about in 2004 was all about a kangaroo court, meaning you had a Fifth Amendment. In America, they don't call you in and go, you better answer my questions or I'm going to lock you up. If you're late 3 times, that's a serious truancy. Not under the law, but under the whole kangaroo court. But notice, as I said, very serious court. That's why we have programs. I mean, there are solutions, and everyone's like entitled to their opinion. Like 50-50. 50% should be spent. 50% of the child's time should be at school, while the other 50% should be in the family auspices. And there's a difference between putting somebody in jail, being responsible, putting somebody in jail, and making truancy criminal. Now, the majority of kids that skip school or commit truancy, you're bound to know that something's happening. But for those that do it, they're being bullied. And bullying was at number 2 back in 2020. We're approaching 5 years since the pandemic. And since then, and before 2020, bullying was at number 1. But it came at number 2 during the pandemic. The reason why that is because COVID was number 1 on the truancy list. That was because when they went to online learning, and the school provided them with laptops, they reported like, oh, it's shutting down, it's not responding. So they tried to get all the technicians in, and they tried to fix every single laptop. And that's number 1. Second, the kids were not turning in their assignments. And other things, people are at the breaking point. People dealing with job loss of child care, death in the family, or other issues that are disrupting their children's education. And also, I've seen this happening a lot. There's teenagers out there. They're working at Whataburger. They're working at Burger King. They're working at McDonald's. These kids are working because they're trying to help out mom or dad pay the bills. It's case after case of evictions and debt claims just getting bad. The parents on each side, they're struggling a lot. We have, at truancy court, there's court orders. There are remedial orders, but you got to follow through them now until the last day of school. And if you're sick, you have to go to school. And crime is just one of the main issues here, Vandalism. It's how juvenile delinquency is raised. When kids are not going to school, attendance goes down while juvenile delinquency goes up. And schools are not getting their money because nobody wants to go to class. We'll have more about truancy in our next Give Break Second Look. But there's a next story that really talks about a crime that really happened years ago. Next, this man bought a video game and decided, I'm going to go recreate a scene from Grand Theft Auto. It led to lawsuits and even asking the question, can a video game make someone commit murder? Please stay with us. Video games, guys. That's the answer to all these mass murderers, all these mass shootings that are happening. When you play an M-rated game like Far Cry 5, Watch Dogs 2, and Grand Theft Auto, you're thinking to yourself, are these games teaching kids how to murder people? Well, it is. Well, people say it is just a game. All these games right here, they contain the letter M for mature audiences, indicating that its content is not suitable for kids under 18. But kids under 18, they let an adult buy the game for them because nobody cares. And their rules suck. Parents are like, I don't want you playing all these M games. But they go play at a friend's house anyway. Just sneak it. Maybe they'll mind just sneak it in their pocket. Bam. We have to make sure it doesn't hit the industry, It was already too late years ago when somebody committed a murder. Tonight, you're going to hear a story about a murder that happened because of Grand Theft Auto. It happened years ago in Alabama, where lawsuits are happening, and it led to people saying that these games are committing murders. Just think about the school shooting that happened in Colorado years ago. Eric and Cleveland Harris, they were freaking playing Doom, and it led them going on a whole mass murder. But this is different. We should warn you, what you're about to hear is very graphic and very horrific, and we do stand by it. Here's Ed Bradley.
Grand Theft Auto is a world governed by the laws of depravity.
Sorry, but I need this.
See a car you like, steal it. Someone you don't like, or who had played Grand Theft Auto day and night for months. Attorney Jack Thompson, a longtime crusader against video game violence, is bringing the suit.
Are you saying that Devin Moore shot 3 people in the head because of a video game?
What we're saying is that Devin Moore was, in effect, trained to do what he did. He was given a murder simulator. He bought it as a minor. He played it hundreds of hours, which is primarily a cop killing game. It's our theory, which we think we can prove to a jury in Alabama, that but for the video game training, that he would not have done what he did.
Moore's victims were Ace Mueller, a 911 dispatcher, James Crump, a police officer, and Arnold Strickland, another officer who was on patrol in the early morning hours of June 7, 2003, when he brought in Devin Moore on suspicion of stealing a car. Moore had no criminal history and was cooperative as Strickland booked him inside the Fayette police station. Then suddenly, inexplicably, Moore snapped. This is where it happened. According to Devin Moore's own statement, he lunged at Officer Arnold Strickland, grabbing his .40 caliber Glock automatic, and shot Strickland twice, once in the head. Officer James Crump heard the shots and came running. Moore met him about here in the hallway and fired 3 shots into Crump. One of those shots was in the head. He kept walking down the hallway towards the door of the emergency dispatcher. Once here, he turned and fired 5 shots into Ace Mueller. Again, one of those shots was in the head. Along the way, Moore had grabbed a set of car keys. He went out the door to the parking lot, jumped into a police cruiser, and took off. It all took less than a minute, and 3 men were dead.
The video game industry gave him a cranial menu that popped up in the blink of an eye in that police station, and that menu offered him the split-second decision to kill the officers, shoot them in the head, flee in a police car, just as the game itself trained him to do.
After his capture, Devin Moore is reported to have told police, quote, "Life is like a video game. Everybody's got to die sometime." Moore is awaiting trial in criminal court. A suit filed by the families of 2 of his victims claims that Moore acted out a scenario found in Grand Theft Auto. You, the player, are a street thug trying to take over the city. In one scenario, you can enter a police precinct, steal a uniform, free a convict from jail, escape by shooting police, and flee in a squad car.
I've now got the entire police force after me. You have to eliminate all resistance.
Nicholas Hamner, a law student at the University of Alabama, demonstrated Grand Theft Auto for us. Like millions of gamers, the overwhelming majority, he says he plays it simply for fun.
So you've already shot about 8 cops inside before you got out the door?
Looked about like that.
And now you're stealing a police car?
Now,
David Walsh, a child psychologist who's co-authored a study connecting violent video games to physical aggression, says the link can be explained in part by pioneering brain research recently done at the National Institutes of Health, which shows that the teenage brain is not fully developed. Does repeated exposure to violent video games have more of an impact on a teenager than it does on an adult?
It does, and that's largely because the teenage brain is different from the adult brain. The impulse control center of the brain, the part of the brain that enables us to think ahead, consider consequences, manage urges. That's the part of the brain right behind our forehead called the prefrontal cortex that's under construction during the teenage years. In fact, the wiring of that is not completed until the early 20s.
Walsh says this diminished impulse control becomes heightened in a person who has additional risk factors for criminal behavior. Devin Moore had a profoundly troubled upbringing, bouncing back and forth between a broken home and a handful of foster families.
And so when a young man with a developing brain, already angry, spends hours and hours and hours rehearsing violent acts, and then when he's put in a situation of emotional stress, there's a likelihood that he will literally go to that familiar pattern that's been wired repeatedly, perhaps thousands and thousands of times.
But look, Dr. Walsh, you've got probably millions of kids out there playing violent games like Grand Theft Auto and other violent games who never heard a fly.
Right.
So what does that do to your theory?
Yeah, well, not every kid that plays a violent video game is going to turn to violence, and that's because they don't have all of those other risk factors going on. It's a combination of risk factors which come together in a tragic outcome.
Saving Bigfoot Climber, you're so smart.
I think there's a part 2 to this one. And there is.
And marketed this. Arnold Strickland had been a police officer for 25 years when he was murdered. His brother Steve, a Methodist minister, wants the video game industry to pay. Do you hold the people who created and marketed this video game, do you hold them responsible for your brother's death?
To one degree, yes, I do. Why does it have to come to a point to where somebody's life has to be taken before they realize that these games have repercussions to them? Why does it have to be to where my brother brother's not here anymore.
Still painful for you.
Very much so. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about it.
Strickland, along with the parents of dispatcher Ace Miller, is suing Devin Moore as well as Walmart and GameStop, which sold Moore 2 versions of Grand Theft Auto. Both companies sent us letters insisting they bear no responsibility for Moore's actions and that the game is played by millions of law-abiding citizens. Take-Two Interactive, the creator of Grand Theft Auto, and Sony, which makes the device that runs the game, are also being sued. Both declined to talk to us on camera. Instead, we were referred to Doug Lowenstein, who represents the video game industry. Lowenstein is not named in the lawsuit and says he can't comment on it directly.
I would imagine you wouldn't feel comfortable trying to defend a game like Grand Theft Auto.
Well, it's not my job to defend individual titles. My job is to defend the right of people in this industry to create the products that they want to create. That's free expression.
A police officer we spoke to said our job is dangerous enough as it is without having our kids growing up playing those games and having the preconceived notions of let's kill an officer. It's almost like putting a target on us. Can you see his point?
Look, I have great respect for the law enforcement officers of this country, and I'm not going to, they put themselves on the front lines. I don't think video games inspire people to commit crimes. If people have a criminal mind, it's not because they're getting their ideas from the video games. There's something much more deeply wrong with the individual, and it's not the game that's the problem.
I think a lot of people watching this are going to have a problem with the idea that Grand Theft Auto, the video game, somehow caused Devin Moore to actually pull the trigger, because that would seem to remove the concept of personal responsibility in this act. And at the end of the day, if indeed he did kill 3 men, wasn't that his decision? And shouldn't he suffer the consequences?
There's plenty of blame to go around. Fact is, we think Devin Moore is responsible for what he did. But we think that the adults who created these games and in effect programmed Devin Moore and assisted him to kill are responsible, at least civilly.
Thompson says video game companies had reason to foresee that some of their products would trigger violence, and bolsters his case with claims that the murders in Fayette were not the first thought to be inspired by Grand Theft Auto. In Oakland, California, detectives said the game provoked a street gang accused of robbing and killing 6 people.
They would play the game during the day and live out a lot of that game at night with their different types of street robberies.
In Newport, Tennessee, 2 teenagers told police the game was an influence when they shot at passing cars with a .22 caliber rifle, killing 1 person. But to date, not a single court case has acknowledged a link between virtual violence and the real thing. Paul Smith is a First Amendment lawyer who has represented video game companies.
What you have in almost every generation is a new medium that comes along and is subject of an almost hysterical attack. If you went back to the 1950s, it's hard to believe now, but comic books were blamed for juvenile delinquency. And I think what you really have here is very much the same phenomenon playing itself out again with a new medium.
Why do you think the courts have ruled against these kinds of lawsuits?
If you start saying that we're going to sue people because one individual out there read their book or played their game and decided to become a criminal, there is no stopping point. It's a huge new swath of censorship that will be imposed on the media.
Despite its violence, or because of it, the fact is that millions of people like playing Grand Theft Auto. Steve Strickland can't understand why.
The question I have to ask the manufacturers of them is, why do you make games that target people that are to protect us? Police officers, people that we look up to, people that I respect with high admiration. Why do you want to market a game that gives people the thoughts, even the thoughts of thinking it's okay to shoot police officers? Why do you want to do that?
Both Walmart and GameStop, where Devin Moore purchased Grand Theft Auto, say they voluntarily card teenagers in an effort to keep violent games from underage kids. But several states are considering laws that would ban the sale of violent games to those under 17.
So, under 17, that's not enough. Just because the box says amateur 17, that doesn't mean much. You're not an adult till you're 18. When we come back, Rob's going to explain again about the link between violence in the real world and violence in video games. It's the answer to all the school shooting dilemma. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Well, I couldn't find the video, but we're going to lay it out for you right now. It's the answer to all the school shootings that are happening. Walmart years ago pulled back because they said we don't support all the shootings. But when blame it on Columbine, claim it on Sandy Hook, claim it on Uvalde. The video games are what caused people to go out and commit juvenile offenses and commit those crimes. But what are parents doing? Not a damn thing with getting them that game and look at the box. That's because nobody knows about the Entertainment System Rating Board, or the ESRB. They run commercial ads they run PSA ads to really help educate parents on what to look for in all these games. I mean, you go to a video game store, you look at a game with your child and say, "Hey, Mom, I want this game." It's look at the box. Don't just look at the front, just look at the back. And just go, "How old are you?" "I'm sorry, son, but you're under 13. I can't allow you to play this." However, if they were to look at a game like a sports game like this, it's another alternative. "Here, son, I'm going to let you play this because it's more your style." That's exactly what I'm talking about here. In case you didn't know, there's E, E10, T, and M. The 4 ratings. Those are what you're not familiar with because you parents out there are just not being familiar enough with these PSAs. We're going to help you out here because really, I'm going to help you out because really y'all don't know anything what the hell the rating system is. So let's take a look at these ratings because you're going to need some common sense.
Start of that Sunshine Double, the BNP Paribas Open. Welcome to the Miami Open.
Hurry up, come on. Can I get a winner?
Sure you can, kid. What you got, kid?
Oh, just buying a video game for my son.
And what's the rating?
Rating?
Yeah, the rating. See, this one here is T for teen. And here you got content descriptors telling you what's in the game. And if you need more information, you look up rating summaries right here on your phone.
Wow, thanks.
I don't think this is a game for us. Hey, maybe we should get this one. Kids are natural.
For more information, visit ESRB.org.
And like we talked about, the organization was created years ago because of Mortal Kombat, which led to Congress creating the ESRB.
Hey guys, can I get next?
Here you go, kid. Hey, aren't you... Yep, Vogel, Song, and Posey. Did you check the rating? The rating? Yeah, it's simple. Always check the rating symbol on the front and read the content descriptor on the back.
And if you need more information, you can look up rating summaries right from your phone.
Thanks, guys. Son, I don't think this game is for us.
Maybe you should get this one. This kid can play.
For more information, visit ESRB.org.
That's the kind of help you get. And if you, 90% of parents say they don't often teach their kids all about the rating system. So this is information that a lot of families need to hear this is not normally a second look, but we're going to continue this again for this second look. Because really, we're taking a second look into the ESRB rating system because there's not many parents out there that get what I'm saying. And what I'm saying here is, if you're going to get your child very first game, you need to first look at not just the front of the box, but the back of the box. The front of the box says T, the back of the box says violence. E, and the back may say, okay, go to the website and you'll learn more. That's exactly what I'm talking about, you know. Nobody gives a damn about, you know, no one gives a damn about the rating system. I mean, here I have, like me, I want to get my nephew's very first game. So this is what I'm going to do. Pick out your very first game. Whoa, red flag, son. I am advised to look at this game. Okay, it is teen. The back, fantasy, violence, malblood, language, crude humor. Sorry, son, I don't think this game's for us. But there are suggestions out there which you can really help out with. Make suggestions. There are e-games out there. And if your son wants to buy his very first M game, that's his choice. And right here, this could be very suitable for him, even though the box says E10 plus. Just go, okay? Look at the back. Fantasy violence, fictive. Yeah, okay. I would say it's okay, but as long as you don't act it out. A quick summary for E is just, you know, violence and all. But E10, but E10, you can't be under 10. But for real life. These are PSAs which we need to start realizing. And this is information that parents need to look at. So parents need to start listening in. So, let's take a look.
With video games, I'm always choosing between what my kids want and what I think is best for them. How about this one? Which is why I love these new rating summaries. They let me know exactly what's in the game. Players shoot lasers from an arm cannon. Robot enemies explode and limbs fly off.
Maybe that other one's better.
Yeah. Get your free game rating summary today, and with it, the world's most powerful weapon, knowledge.
You're exactly right. There's knowledge. And if you don't have that knowledge, maybe then you won't be able to get the skills. Because you probably won't care whether your child's going to be... Because remember the thing, your child won't care if he or she's out there robbing people. I mean, 5-year-old kids could play a game, and then play Grand Theft Auto, and they would just tell their parents, like, well, I played an M game before my own mall. I mean, what was M game like? Shooting, robbing, cussing, everything. I have never once played an M game before. I have, and let me tell you, you saw me on this broadcast play an M-rated game. And I know for a fact that it's just a game, number one. Second, if I continue playing it, my brain's going to be, the other part of my brain's going to be like, go commit a crime. Cannot do that. I have never committed a crime before, and I will never do so. That's why we have these ESRB rating systems. And PSAs that can help out parents saying, okay, well, how else can I do so? I mean, if the customer next to you is like saying, okay, you check the rating system, like what do? You check the front, you check the back. You want more information, you go to the ESRB website, and they'll give you a more detailed description. Then, with that knowledge, you have a choice to make in your head. Do I want to give this game for my son, or do I not? Well, it's M, he's underage? Nope. Sorry, son, this game's not for you. But if the person next to you says, why don't you give him this game instead? He loves sports. Then it'd be right for him. And maybe then he'll think to himself, wow, Dad, thanks. I'm going to use this knowledge for me when I grow up.
Mom, Dad, can I get winner?
Here you go, kid.
Thanks.
Hey, I think you need a box check. Box check? Yeah, it's simple. Always check the rating symbol on the front, read the content descriptor on the back. You know, a box check.
Yes!
And if you need more information, you can look up the rating summaries right from your phone.
Hey, thanks, guys. Son, I don't think this game's for us.
Hey, maybe you should get this one. This kid's got some skills.
For more information, visit ESRB.org.
If you have not had enough of this, well, you better fasten your seatbelts because when we return, there's more of these ESRB PSAs that you need to learn. And if you do not learn, then maybe then you're going to be stuck in a limbo and that'll be your child sitting in jail or wound up dead in the morgue, in your grave, and you'll be sitting there in your room crying. Stay with us. Tonight, we're taking another look into ESRB ratings and why parents are not getting the message when it comes to buying their child their first video game. We first talked about this a couple seasons ago, back in 2023. But now there's more to this after there's more to this after 21 and a half years ago when somebody bought the game as a minor and proceeded to go out in an all rampage. That was back in 2003. But now, these PSAs are continuing to come in. And without that information, you don't know what goes on. I mean, you want to buy your child your first video game? E.
You know Harbor Freight for affordability, but durability goes right along with it. You see...
Now, if the back of the box... Sorry. If the back of the box says visit ESRB.org, you go to the website, you search up the game you like, and poof, it'll pop up on your phone. You have the information and say, okay, it's a sports game. That's a good choice.
Come on, Dad. Can I get winner?
There you go, kid. Hey, aren't you? Yep. We're going to help her. I think you need a box check. A box check? Yeah, it's simple. Always check the rating symbols on the front, read the content descriptors on the back. You know, a box check.
Yes!
Let's go tell the chicken. Hey, thanks, guys. Son, I don't think this game's for us. Maybe you should get this one. This kid got some skills.
For more information, visit ESRB.org.
And maybe then these
Come on,
kids...
Dad. Can I...
Maybe then these kids are learning. And the ESRB has their own YouTube channel, which can really help you out for learning all about these. I mean, if you want more information, just visit the ESRB website at esrb.org. But not many people care. I mean, they look at this game and like, oh my god, GTA is awesome. In just a few minutes, we're going to play for you a story from a YouTube channel on how this kid got the game and his parents found out. I mean, but I worry about what kids learn from television. I mean, there's violence in television, there's violence in movies, there's also violence in our video games. The goal of every parent here is to prevent your child from preventing violence into the real world. I have a nephew who's 1 year old, and trust me, he's going to be in his terrible twos next year. And so, when he gets older and starts getting violent, I need to be careful not to expose my nephew to violent television, because as he's growing, he's going to think that, oh, hitting people is going to solve people's problems. Any problem can be solved by hitting or by kicking, punching, or hitting. That's not how the world works, because nobody understands communication. Now, if you have not wrapped your head around these PSAs, there is more to come right now. So take a look at this next one.
Sometimes I want more information about what's in a video game.
Now, there's a new way to get rating information along with in-depth rating summaries.
Clear shoot lasers from an arm cannon and limbs fly off.
Check the rating and use rating summaries anytime and anywhere. And best of all, they're free.
Formula One racing.
For more information about the ratings and rating summaries, go to esrb.org/mobile.
That's great. If your child wants the first video game, you stand 6 feet away from them.
Sometimes I'm
6 feet away, and you have to wait for the employee. Employee opens the key. Next step, the child comes to you. You look at the game, and game one, hand phone the other. Sorry, son, this game's not for you. Put it back. Next. Football. Okay, that's good. State governors are...
I'm Governor Chris Gregoire. As a mom, I know parenting has many rewards, but it's not always easy, especially when setting limits on your children's entertainment choices. I urge you to be aware of the video games your children play. Many video games today are not intended for young children. The video game rating system is a great resource for parents. It includes age-appropriate ratings and game content information. Help your kids make appropriate video game choices.
Now, if we did a Give Me a Break from a game store with the owner's permission, we would cycle around all the video games, showing you examples. And maybe then that'd be not only educational, but it could really give you a very good chance to say to yourself, wow, this guy from the corner really knows his stuff. I'm going to take his advice, and the next time my child wants his next video game, I'm going to take his advice and take it with a grain of salt. That's exactly right. Not many people take this advice these days because many parents don't care what their kids are up to. You know, you are the parent. Act like it.
Buying a video game the whole family can enjoy is not just fun and games. It may require some homework to find out which games are suitable for younger players. You can check game ratings, given by the Entertainment Software Rating Board, on the front of every box and read the content description on the back. E stands for everyone and M for mature. Most games have rating summaries available at ESRB.org. There you can download a free mobile app to check game ratings right in the store.
And for websites, and there's also an app that you can use. So that's it for all the PSAs. I mean, would I imagine ever walking into a store and saying, Mom, I want that game. Okay, let's see what it is. I want GTA. I mean, I would imagine working at a game store. And I mean, I'd be like at the front counter, and I'm like, give me a, hang on a second. Sure, Paul? Yeah, that game is not suitable for your child. Well, the reason that is because he's going to go out, he's going to be playing that game. In that game, you shoot, rob, and kill people. You go on spontaneous missions, you also kill police officers, and there's nudity involved. So my advice, check the front of the game and check the back of the game for all the information. You can log on to ESRB.org for more information or download the ESRB app on your phone. That's exactly how it's done. And if we did that in real life as we were walking through a video game store, I'd be like, my name is Jonathan Carmen. I'm not just a singer from the intersection of Waldron and SBID. I'm also a YouTube commentator. Give me a break. We're doing a story on parents who don't educate their kids about video games. And the question I ask is, do you often educate your child on video games? On ESRB ratings? Alright, that's enough PS... Well, there is one more.
Carl never really
And then
thought
we're
much
going
of
to
his
take a
credit
break.
scores until he got Credit Karma and used his scores to score more. Life is less humble abode. Intuit Credit Karma. Karma you can count on. Download the app today.
As parents, we make...
But as a parent, you've got to make a good choice. I mean, I'm going to use this skill for my sister-in-law and for my brother. Because my nephew may be playing this video game for the very first time. And I want him, because he is at that age to where he's not 10 yet. So we're at the E range. Then when he's 13, move up to T. And then 17 or older, it's the choice. Stick to T or go up to M. That's the choice. That's the choice of the matter. Let's take a look at one more PSA, and then we're going to take a break.
As parents, we make a lot of decisions, like which video games our kids will play. Which is why I'm glad there's the video game rating system. The rating symbols and content descriptors help us to decide which video games are most appropriate for our kids. It makes choosing video games easier. No matter what their age.
But with GTA 6 coming out, we all know that it's going to be rated M. We all know that all GTA games are rated M.
Parents, you have a say in what video game.
But here's a bonus.
Parents, you have a say in what video games your child plays. Purchase age-appropriate games that everyone in the family can play. Be sure to look on the back of a video game or online for the rating. That rating tells you the type of game content your child is playing. Have a say in what your child plays and learn the rules of the game.
Yes, find age-appropriate games. Look at the age range. This is what I'm developing. I'm developing the video game age range. So if your son's under 10, that's E. 10 or above, E10. 13 or older, 13 to 17, T. 17 and older, M. If he's at 17 and older, then he's able to play an M-rated game. But I'm recommending do not play an M-rated game after 25, because that's when your brain stops going. Your brain stops going at 25. And the last part of the brain is this part right here that makes the decisions. So therefore, so what, you say my child should not be start playing any games so his brain stops going? I'm not saying that. I mean, once he's 18, he can make his own decisions. But then once he buys a video game for himself, you don't have the power to take it away from him. But if he lives under your roof, then probably so. But if he bought it with his own money, you can't take it. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Okay. So far, we focused in on video game simulators. It's basically a flashback Friday dealing with one issue. The video game rating system. Like we talked about, not many parents are telling their kids or teaching their kids all about the game rating system. Basically, all they're doing is just letting their kids get the M-rated games, and they don't basically care all about what goes on. This is information that you as a parent need to know. You're the parent. You decide what's best for your child. Now, we focused on GTA from a murder. Now let's focus in on when kids get... But now there's one thing we've not discussed during that M-rated game system. We've not focused in on when kids get caught playing Grand Theft Auto. That brings us to some videos. First,
you don't have...
So take a look at this one.
Every time you die, humanity moves forward. This is your job.
You don't have to do this, baby girl. I love you, don't you understand that? I care about you, I care about your feelings. I can take you away from all of this. My dad got his stimulus check too, so I can pay for you to go to school now. Rashawn? What the hell are you even talking? Oh my god. Boy, what did I tell you about talking to these strippers on GTA? I told you about calling her that. She's not that. She's my girlfriend. We've done stuff together. Y'all done stuff together? You know what? I don't know why you're concerned. I always wear protection. What the hell? That's it. Turn the game off. Turn the game off right now, Rashad. I gotta go, okay, baby girl? I'll be back tomorrow. My dad's being a hoe right now. Boy. Enjoy that TV, babe.
Well, that's not it.
This game is so cool. Son, what did I tell you about playing that game? You aren't old enough to be playing those kind of games yet. But it's really not that bad. See, I'm not doing any of the bad stuff. I'm just driving around. I said no. When you're old enough to buy the game yourself, then you can play it. Oh man, I'm so excited to try GTA 5 out. You're still playing that game? It's gotta be like 10 years old by now. I'm just getting myself prepped for GTA 6. Should be coming out any day now. GTA 6 should be coming out any day now. Coming soon, 2061. I'll be dead by then, guys. This game is so...
Take a look at this person from a couple years ago. He did GTA
This
real
man
life.
was sentenced to 160 years in prison for playing GTA 5 in real life. In 2014, in Colorado, Ryan Stone saw the opportunity to steal an SUV at a local gas station. He then took it and went off. However, what Ryan didn't know, there was a boy still in the back of the car and the cops were immediately called. Now driving and doing anything he can to get away from the police, he then hopped out of the SUV, leaving the boy safe, and hijacked a minivan. With police helicopters and cars behind him, he then took off in rapid speeds while damaging the van a few more times. Ryan then proceeded to hijack a second car just to crash it miles away. Following this, he then tried to escape the cops on foot, but he didn't get nowhere because the police soon caught him and he was charged with 160 years in prison. This man was sentenced to 160 years in prison for playing GTA 5 in real life.
But that was off topic. Y'all want people who were caught playing Grand Theft Auto. So if we were to look up parents catching kids playing Grand Theft Auto, then maybe it'd be funny. Or maybe it's like... It's like two different sides. Mom's like, that game's not appropriate for you.
Nigga, where your mom at, nigga? Yeah, nigga, where your mom at?
That's the 12-year-old. Here's what happens when your parents catch you playing GTA. I think this is the right one.
Don't make no sense. So all these kids are scribbling here. Cause sounds like that. Period E, period E. What is that? Don't even make no sense. Get out there, shoot it. Where you at? Wait, don't worry, I got you. I got you. If they try the thing, it's gonna be a sad day for the ring on. Come on, keep your head down and hold your breath. I'm coming. Easy, don't be scared. I got a rocket launcher under your bed. So if anybody try the thing, it's gonna be a sad day for them and their mama. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Inside. Yeah, give me that car, boy. Dad, you alright? I almost knocked you inside your head with his gun. I thought somebody was outside shooting. Oh, you thought somebody was outside? Oh, nah, Dad, that's just me. I'm playing the game. It's called GCA. You're playing it easy, mate. No, okay, now, so, like, basically, it's this game where you can, like, rob people, you can steal cars, you can rob banks, you know what I'm saying? You can blow up, you can do whatever you want in this game. This game is fun. It's fun. Hey, trust me, watch this. See? Turn that game off. It ain't fun to hurt people. People work hard for what they have. Yeah. It's just a game. I don't care what it is. Matter of fact, give me that controller. Alright. Here. Don't make no sense. This is why your kids don't screw up in the head now. Playing games like this. Man, this game don't do nothing but rot your brain. That's all it do. Nothing but a bunch of evil. That's all it is. Evil. Are you still caught? Oh, you just press triangle. Oh, thank you. But yeah, like I said, you shouldn't be playing these games no way. Playing these. Dad, huh? How come you can play when I can't? Cause I'm grown. That's why. I ain't even trying to play it. I'm trying to figure out how to cut the thing off. Oh, what? Cut it off and just put. I don't need your help. I'll figure it out. Go downstairs and wash the dishes. Ain't no dishes in there. We'll go make some there and wash them out. Alright. But to lost your mind playing these evil video games. These stupid video games. That's for your brains. All they do is why you kids so messed up, Just one little cup, bro. Alright. Hey, Dad, what you want me to do? I know he's still playing that game. I swear, if I get upstairs and he's still playing this game, I'm gonna be mad. Dad! Huh? I ain't doing nothing. I'm trying to figure out how to cut the thing off. Matter of fact, you grounded. What? Don't worry me. You should be playing games like this, no way. So, I'm gonna take this game with me until I feel like you earned it back. Yup, that's what I'm gonna do. Playing these violent video games. You want to be ashamed of yourself. What am I Might as well take a bath. Seawalker or something. You know? Where did this controller come from? Today has been a strange day. Thank you, son. Let me just turn this TV off and go to bed. Good night. But Dad, you told me I just couldn't. I said good night. Alright, good night. Dad. What a hypocrite. I'm a what? What do you think?
Alright. Now that's one example. Now let's see what happens when... Now here's a story about someone playing GTA as a kid. And this story is one of my favorites, which is tonight's Power Break. Because really, all these kids are playing Grand Theft Auto, which is M. Adults in here are like, hey, you buy this game for me? I'll give you the money back.
Enjoying your upgrade. They'll say true cybersecurity comes with trade-offs. That you're either too...
So here's the story of when he got caught playing GTA as a kid. Take a look.
So, I'm walking towards the door, and I'm sweating. Just be cool now. Don't trip. I get to the door, and right before everything, the alarm goes off.
Hey, you stop it!
Bam! I ran for my life. I look to the back, and I see this huge store security coming straight at me. Now I'm panicking. Run, Lem! Run! So I finally make it back to my bike. Every kid loves to play Grand Theft Auto. See, unlike most kids, my parents would never let me play GTA. Oh God, you Gen Alphas are so lucky. Your parents don't care. I bet most of you are waiting for GTA 6 to come out so your parents can buy it for you. But my parents, oh no. They didn't play that. See, I grew up in the good old days, where kids had no rights. Your parents tell you to do something, and you do it. No questions asked, period. No arguing back, and you better not dare talk back to your parents. I seen Gen Alphas talk back to their parents, and nothing happens. I've even seen kids ask for allowance and get it back. In my house, the only allowance we got was being allowed to live in our parents' house. I'll be like, Dad, can I have an allowance?
Allowance? I allow you to live here. I allow you to eat my food. I allow you to burn up my electricity. I even allow you to breathe in my house.
My dad made it look like he was doing us a favor by raising us. See, living in our house came with plenty of rules. First, my brother and I had chores. Failure to do chores was an automatic whoop. Second, you must be on the A-B honor roll. Anything below a B was a whoop. Third, if you get in any trouble, and I mean any trouble, you get beat first and ask questions later. My parents ran a tight ship. And fourth, no R-rated content, no R-rated movies, no R-rated TV shows, and no R-rated video games. My brother and I could only watch PG-13 shows and under. Now this sucked because all my friends were allowed to watch mature content. So one day I was in school, my homie Jamie comes over and he's like, "Man, guess what's coming out? What? A new GTA, bro." "What's that?" "You mean you never played GTA?" "No." Like I said, anything over PG-13 wasn't allowed in our house. Now, since I didn't want to miss out, I had to find out what all the hype was about. So I got to the crib, got online, and looked up Grand Theft Auto. Wow, so this is GTA. And it says it's got hookers, too. Oh my God, I can't wait to play. Now, at the same time, I had a few dollars saved up. So I got on my bike, rode all the way to the gaming store, and got inside. I got to the back of the store and found it. Then I went over to the checkout aisle and gave it to the cashier. He scans the game and he's like, "Hey kid, how old are you?" No, I didn't know what to say, but I figured I'm gonna go with the safest age. 18?
18, huh? Let me see your ID.
Damn, now I didn't know what to do. I was barely a teenager. So I go, "Sorry, sir, I forgot my ID at home."
No ID, no game.
Now it's mission failed. I left the store devastated. I got outside, but right before leaving, an idea came to mind. Wait a minute, if they're not gonna let me buy it, I'ma steal it. So I got back into the store, got to the gaming aisle, looked around, made sure nobody was looking. Then I picked up the game and snuck it under my shirt. "Okay, Lem, just be cool and walk out like nothing's happened." So I'm walking towards the door and I'm sweating. "Just be cool, Lem, don't trip." I get to the door and right before everything, the alarm goes off.
Hey, you stop it!
Bam! I ran for my life. I look to the back and I see this huge store security coming straight at me. Now I'm panicking. "Run, Lem! Run!" So I finally make it back to my bike, get on it, and pedaled as hard as I could.
Hey, stop! Stop!
I didn't look back. A few minutes later, I got to the crib and hid the game in my closet. See, I knew the only way I would be able to play the game was when my parents were out of the house. So I waited until the weekend since my parents work most Saturdays. So fast forward, it's Saturday. My parents leave for work, and now it's finally time to play GTA. So I get the game, open it, put it on the PlayStation, the game loads up, and there it was. Wow, this is awesome. GTA is so cool. I had a ball. I couldn't believe this game. You get to steal cars, shoot at cops, kill people in the streets. You even get to go buy hookers. This was the greatest game ever. Now, since I knew my parents' work schedule, every weekend I would pull out the game, playing until right before my parents returned from work. Then I'd hide it until next weekend. But here's the issue. The more I played, the more comfortable I got. And boy, did I make the biggest mistake of my life. See, one Saturday evening, I left the game inside the console. I even left the cover with the other games in the living room. Do you know how stupid that is? So the next morning, my mother was deep cleaning the house. She gets to the living room and starts arranging the games. Then she sees GTA.
That's weird. I don't remember buying this game.
So she reads the box, and right on the front, it says this game is M for mature. My mother loses it. She blasts through the door, found me sleeping, and slapped the holy ghost out of me. I wake up screaming, ow!
Boy, where'd you get this?
Now I'm just waking up. I can barely see, and this lady's about to kill me. So I look closer, and I see it's my GTA game. Now I'm really shook. I gotta think fast. Oh no, you're so dead, Lem. Think. So I go, that's Tony's.
Tony's? Then why did you have it?
He let me borrow it.
Get up. We're going to Tony's house.
Now I'm cooked. First of all, I lied. Second, I stole the game. If my mom finds out, she's gonna kill me. So we get to my mother's car, drive all the way to Tony's house, and knock on the door. Tony opens the door, and my mother's like,
Tony, does this belong to you?
Now Tony's confused. He doesn't know what to say. So he looks at me, and I'm giving him the help me. So Tony looks dead into my mother's eyes and says, yeah, it's mine.
Now, Tony, listen to me very carefully. Don't you ever give my son this game again. You got it?
Yes, ma'am. So my mother and I leave Tony's house, and I was so happy. I couldn't believe my homie came through for me. My mom and dad would have killed me. So we get back to the crib. A few hours go by, and I decided to call Tony. Yo, Tony. What's up, man? I need my game back. What game? My GTA. Yo, GTA. That's my GTA. What? This boy hangs up the phone, and he never returned my GTA ever again. But you know what? At least I escaped the beating of a lifetime. So, moral of the story, what's done in the dark always comes to light.
And moral of the story is, if your parents say no M-rated games, no M-rated games, period. We'll be right back. What was your Halloween costume last year? Mine was Ted Lasso. But how would you feel living with your family and thinking to yourself, I want to show my Halloween costume? So you get some Speedos, and then you tell your family, close your eyes. Their eyes are closed. And when it's time for them to peek, they look at you and go like, oh God, he's wearing Speedos. In tonight's Spiral Break, that's exactly what happened. If you never heard of the band Macmillan, then you need to listen to their music. It's really good. With a couple pranks. So here is the one where the person wore Speedo.
Introducing my Halloween costume for 2024. Open your eyes. It's the crack-o'-lantern. What do y'all know about it? Look at this. And the best part is, hey, the best part is, he has a pumpkin on the backside. He's got a pumpkin on the back. Let's go. And Catherine, you're gonna love this part. Everybody be quiet. Be quiet. Hey, I got cola matching one. I figured it was y'all's first time married. So.
I'll send the two of y'all together.
But last year when I wore a Speedo and was Michael Phelps, one night as Michael Phelps, I got extra candy.
You can't do that.
No. Get out of here. Don't touch my Speedo. Yeah. Catherine, so do you want a ghost to be on the back of Cole's or a pumpkin like mine?
I don't want anything to be on this. Stop.
Check the Are y'all's eyes closed?
Alright. Now, how would you feel if your hibachi restaurant was closed? You had to improvise. I'll take a look at this
My
next one.
sisters wanted hibachi, but it was closed, so I did this.
Morning, Catherine. Table for two. Woohoo! Table for two. Hibachi night. Come out here. Hibachi, baby. Yep. Who's ready for some hibachi? Give it up for that hibachi. Who's going first? Me. Oh, you missed. Now on the count of three, say, I want some chicken fried rice.
My sisters wanted hibachi, but it was closed, so
That was so cool. Alright, there was this other one, but I'm going to get demonetized for it. So, here's one more I'm going to throw in for a bonus. Alright. Could you ever catch your friends singing along to their favorite songs? And you want to get that moment on tape. Well, Ban McGillian, one of the members, videotaped it, and, well, let's take a look. And I think this happened too. Take a look at this one.
What did you just say? Say it again. This is the only way you can see. Zach top, baby. Well, it's been what the heck? Where did you get that from? You still look like an angel. I heard you're doing fine. Okay. Come on. Got promoted back in April. Sing it. Sing it, Zach. And you met someone. Your dad says he's okay. I sleep like a baby. All right. I never show up late for work. Hey. I don't drink whiskey. I don't know how it feels to hey, you know what? Oh, it ain't been long. I got something to say. Yeah, I met somebody too. More like Zach Martin. Oh, what did you just say? Say it again. This is the only.
So next time you want to see some Zach talk, get yourself a fake mustache, put it on your lips, impress your girlfriend, impress your wife, impress your family members. You two may be on The Voice, or even maybe it's your next band. Even impress the McLean band. Check out their music. I think it's on Spotify and YouTube. Just check your music. Where you get your music from. Amazon Music, YouTube. Where do you get your music from? Second Look Saturday. I think we're going to continue with our second look into video games. But I think I had something else planned. But a story I have planned for you is coming up soon. It's a story about a mother who years ago, she had a lot of kids. The septuplets. They were born back in 97. Now, if I had the original 97 report talking about the septuplets, then it'd be a different story. So, coming up this March, the story of the septuplets in 1999. Then fast forward to the 5th birthday of 2002. That's going to be on a very special Mother's Day, Give Me a Break Sunday. Where Mother's Day is happening, we'll show you the story. And we'll probably don't know what happened, so.
Where'd you go?
So I'm going to skip to the... I'm I'm going to skip to the end here to where I think we plan on talking about. All right. Come on, Gaming Rec second look Saturday. A second look into stupid in America. How we cheat our kids. That's our second look Saturday and Sunday. Like we talked about. It's all about school choice, because that school choice led us to our next second look. Stupid in America. How we cheat our kids. That's coming up on a second look Saturday. That's all for this edition of Give Me a Break Friday going to Saturday. We'll see you again for Give Me a Break Saturday night. And remember again, Give Me a Break's now on 5 nights a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and this weekend, Give Me a Break Sunday. Second look Saturday and second look Sunday. Follow us here at YouTube and Give Me a Break. Always say this. I'm John the Carmen, reminding you to stop bullying, speak up. Concentration, not strength. No jaywalking. And it's your body, your choice. Good night, everybody.